Okay, so guys, welcome to day 3, the last day for this training. Um, I would just want you, as always, to let us know where you are joining us from in the chat box. Let us know where you are joining us from so that we can keep track of you as well and welcome you. So if Gideon is here representing OAAD and also um, CFOS is here, just let me know. I think I've heard the voice of Gideon. So if CFOS is also here, we
Yeah,
just
I'm here.
give you 1 minute to just to say anything you have to say concerning this program, since you are serving as our partner, OAD, and also LSUIC. So I'll first take OAD
Okay.
through Gideon.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. And we are happy for the collaboration. And this is impactful to the people that join and others will follow it through whether the OAAD platform or the TRT platform or the LSURC platform. This knowledge is not waste. Uh, to our partners, TRT, we are grateful because your effort have not been in vain. Your effort will change people mentality from one stage to another, and we will grow together. In Union Strong, success is sure. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Honorable Vice President, for the Western region of OAAD. And to all of the people representing OAAD, hats up to you. Thank you so much for joining. Is the president of LSUIC here? Honorable Jacob Cephas Johnson, president of the Liberian Student Union in China. I don't know if I can take Gideon to practice for him again, but
Yeah, in accent, I'm the vice president for the Liberian Student Union in China, and we want to be grateful to our partners, the organization African Academic Doctors and TRT Network for this opportunity. Uh, we are pleased to be part of this collaboration. This will aid our research students and other students around and in China to grow with their knowledge in the Arrow and Arrow Studio. And those that have been with Starter and other things, we wish that TRT Network and the Organization of African Academic Doctors can bring more of this so our students can find it more easier to move through. Thank you very much.
all right. Thank you so much. And also to those that are just joined, welcome and thank you so much. This is the last day. The videos for day 1 and day 2, you can see here is already on the YouTube channel. Some people have already subscribed. Currently, it's a challenge that I'm putting forth to you. We have 209 subscribers, right? So after the end of today's program, I want you to make me shame, right? I want you to take this up to probably 400. However way you can do it, it just each person just going there and subscribing or liking the video. Some people have already done it. Thank you so much to those that have. Those that haven't, please, if you go there to see the video, please just subscribe. It's just very easy. That way it helps us to keep creating different contents as well. All of the trainings we have had, the videos are all here, so you can always go there and watch again as you go along. Also, the certificate
Send this
aspect.
in the chat box.
Yeah, I sent a link already in the Zoom chat box. So just check the Zoom.
Okay.
It's there.
Okay.
For the certificate aspect, we will start to distribute certificates right after the program ends today. Probably because I will still be here to entertain questions from other people. So officially, when the program is over and I take the attendance, I usually stay to address some questions and concern from other people. So if you have any doubt or anything you want to understand based on what we talk about, please stay, and then we're going to take our time to solve your problem until you can leave from here. Once the problem is solved, then you can leave. If it don't solve, I will stay with you. So the certificate from the website, you can start to download it. Hopefully we'll announce it. But then if you want a certificate to be sent to your email, to your WhatsApp, to your WeChat, to your Facebook Messenger, we can also send that to you beginning today. But for the sake of the of other things that we have to do when it comes to uploading a certificate to the website, there are so many other background work we have to do, which cannot be done like right after this program. So we have to create a whole lot of things to then make the certificates available here. So probably next week, you can start to visit the website. And then once you come here to training, and then you see certificate verification. Once you click on certificate verification, it's going to bring up this page. So all you have to do is to tap in your last name, because for now you don't know your certificate ID. So you can tap in your last name and it's going to bring out your certificate and tell you can download your certificate. So once you click, the certificate will be downloaded in a PDF format. So for those that attended TIT program in the winter edition, your certificate is already here. So you can just come in and put in your certificate ID. We gave you a soft copy before, and the PDF version is also here. So you can come and put your certificate ID or your last name. For you, your certificate is already here. So you can use the system to get a certificate. We also have certificate verification. So this one is used for you, probably your employer or someone who also tell you like you have not attended TIT program and you say you attended the program. You can also come and put your certificate ID. It's going to tell you the program you attended, if it's data analysis training, the date and time also of that program, and every other details about you as it relates to the program. So you can verify a certificate here for each of the editions. This was for the winter edition of 2024. This is for the summer edition of 2023. This is for the winter edition of 2023. So everything is here. Make use of the website, and all of the videos as well will also be on the website. So please try to make use of all of these things. The Facebook page is also there, and the name is already on the flyer. You can check the flyer, or you can check Facebook for TIT Network or TI Innovative Tech, TIT, and then you're going to see the Facebook page. So you can always make sure by sharing and doing everything you can do. If we have the same sub name with someone else, how can we do it? Same sub name with people. If you're from the past program, you already know your certificate ID. But if you're from this program and you have the same sub last name, then try to input that and see the certificate that's going to come up first. Or you can message us and then we're going to give you a certificate ID. You can go back to the website and enter your certificate ID. It will generate the certificate for you. So don't worry. At any point in time, you can send us an email. Using our email is also on the flyer, or you check on the top here of the website, you can see this is the email, admin@titnetwork.org, and then we'll receive your email and also respond to you. So certificate distribution will start today. So if you want it through any other medium, let us know. We'll send it to your email, to your Facebook, your WhatsApp, and every other place you want it. At any point in time, feel free to message us on WeChat, any other social media. You have our handle. Please make sure to send us a message. We are like available 24/7. So don't worry. Send us a message any time of the day, any time of the night. As long as we are available, we will respond to you. So that's it for what we have. Let's move into what we have for today on data visualization. Data visualization. If you're just joining us, welcome. So we're going to start. Yesterday, the file that I sent, there was one, at the end of it, there was one code there for ggplot or the graph. So we're going to use that today and see how we can work with that graph and what are other things that we can do with that graph. If you have any question, we will take question after we are done, or probably as I'm going on. If your question is related to this thing that I'm doing, then you can ask your question. If you have question contrary to this, you just whip. At the end of it, you can ask your question. We will also be here after the official time to address any other questions you might have. If you want us to go with you step by step, we'll also stay here and do a review step by step until you understand everything we are teaching here today. So don't worry, just stay with us and let's move. So I told you guys to install the Tidyverse package, and I'm sure if you have installed it, please let me know in the chat box. Just say yes for those that have installed the Tidyverse package, no for those that haven't, so that we can know what to do. So we can get the first yes, second yes, 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 yes. So meaning a lot of people have already installed the Tidyverse package. I've not seen any no yet. So many yeses. So that's it. Since you have already installed it, now let's move on. So tab with me, LRB arrow. So once you tap LRB arrow, then Arrow Studio is going to pop up something called library. Now you can press
Sorry for
enter.
the interruption. I didn't get the first point you said.
Which first one? Did you install the Tidyverse library?
No, not yet.
So you have to install it. We send a message in all of the groups during the day. So please try to install it. Yesterday we also talked about the installation of Tidyverse. So if you want to install it, use the command install. You see install the packages, and then inside here in the quotation you put Tidyverse, and then you can come at the end of this line and you click on run to install the Tidyverse. So that's very easy to run. We talked about it yesterday. So now for those that have already installed it, let's move on. Library. So you press enter for it to complete the command for you. Because when it's completing the command for you, it's going to bring up a parenthesis. So you don't have to tap everything, tap parentheses and all of that. Sometimes tapping the command, you also might tap something else that that isn't, and it's going to cause conflict, or probably you're not going to get the actual result. So inside here now, we want to tap Tidyverse. So once I put TID, it's going to bring up all of the packages that are installed that start with TID or TIDY. So I'm just going to come down here and then choose Tidyverse. Okay. So it also gives you description about the Tidyverse package. You can read about it if you want to. But then let's move on. You can click on enter for it to complete that command for you. So after that, come at the end of this line and then you click on run. So when you click on run, then you observe that in your console, you will see that this one has been run with no error, with nothing. So if you have run that, please let us know in the chat box and just say run. Just say run in the chat box if you have done that with us. Just say run in the chat box. Run, okay, one person, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, so if you haven't, let me see the time. I'm going to try today to see if I can go very, very slow, but we have 15 minutes to 8. So the same command you are seeing here, okay, a lot of people have already run it. There is no problem for now. There is one person that say error. I have some conflict. Forget about conflict. If you have conflict, that means you are installing. When you are installing and you see conflict, just ignore that and then come and tap library Tidyverse. Please help some of us to install Tidyverse. We talked about it already, how to install Tidyverse. So since the majority of the people already have it, we'll move on, and then those that have error will come back to you to address your error. Or you can send a screenshot in the group of the kind of error you have, and then we'll be here to solve that problem for you. So please send a screenshot in the group. So since you have already run library Tidyverse, that means you already have the Tidyverse. The only time you get error is when you don't have Tidyverse installed. That's when you're going to get error. So please make sure you have Tidyverse installed.
Yeah, I just sent a screenshot to the group. When I run it, it showed what showed to you, but it showed another additional file. I don't understand. Like attacking core Tidyverse packages, conflicts. I just sent it to the group.
Um,
So I don't know what.
those that see conflict, like I said, is already installed.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, those that see conflict mean it's already installed. Like the person who sent the picture, I think that's Lucas. Lucas, yours is already installed.
Yeah,
For
okay.
Omar, you have to. I think the screenshot you send, you have to send the bottom of that screenshot because it's incomplete, so we cannot see the very end of that screenshot. The last person who just sent also, like I think that's Zenambu, it already installed. So don't worry, just now tap Tidyverse, library Tidyverse. As long as you can tap library Tidyverse, once you can see Tidyverse here, that means Tidyverse has been installed. Once you can see
Oh,
Tidyverse here, means Tidyverse has been installed, so you don't have to worry. Okay, let's move on. So after you tap library Tidyverse, you have to click here on run. And a lot of us, ours already been run. So the next thing we want to do is to create a variable that is going to keep our data set. So today we're going to use this data set called MPG, that's miles per gallon. So when I click here on I say view, in the parentheses, and I put MPG, and then I run it. So you can also do the same with me. View, in parentheses, the V is capital V. Do not use small v, you will get error. Capital V or uppercase V, and then small REW. Once you even tap VRE, R is going to give you suggestion. So once you click on that suggestion, and then you're also going to see the option here with a parenthesis. So please use that as well. Now, after you do this, try to run it. So if you run it, R is going to show you that data set. So now we can see the data set here called MPG, that is miles per gallon. It's giving car motor, that's good. So if you see in car motor, that's fine. So you can see everything here about this data set. And also we can read more about this data set. If you come here, you click on MPG, and on your keyboard, if you press F1 on your keyboard while this cursor is blinking on MPG, if you press F1, Arrow is going to automatically give you the description and everything you need to know about this data set. So this data set is more like about a few data from 1999 to 2008, covering 38 popular models of cars. So that's the data set we are working with. And in this data set, we have different, if you check here in the data set, you can see manufacturer, model, display, year, CYL, and all of these things. So if you don't understand what CYL is, or what CTY or DRV is, when you press the F1, then you can also see the interpretation. For example, model is the model name, DISPL is the engine displacement.
When my
Sorry,
cursor is there and I click F1, I think another function is there for my F1, is just brightness. Do I need to press Shift F1?
No, just click here on the thing, or you can even come here, come to help.
I can help him. Press function. There's a function key
Okay.
on the FN. So press FN before you press F1. It should display.
Okay, I got it now. Thank you.
Or you come here to help. You come to help, and then inside here you can also tap the thing you are looking for, MPG.
Okay.
And then you press enter, it's also going to give you the same thing. Or another option can be, you can put a question mark, and then you put MPG. And then also when you run it, it's also going to give you the same thing. So now you have three options. Someone said no sound. Please check your device. I think they're hearing me. So also now you have three options to view this. So in case one is not working, you can use the other one. So we have just viewed this. Hello?
Sorry, excuse me.
Yeah.
The F1, how do we activate? Yeah, because
You
I've
click,
tried to use the function F1. There's nothing. Is there anywhere I'm supposed to place my cursor before doing that?
your cursor should be placed either between M and P or anywhere in between on this MPG. If
Okay,
F1 is
sir.
not working for you, you have another method. Come here to help, where you have file, plot, packages, help. When you come to help, help also have a place there for you to search. So in the search area, you can also type the name of that package or data set or whatever, and then you press enter. It's going to give you the same thing. Another way to get the same thing we're talking about is for you to use question mark, and then you put the name of that package or whatever thing you are looking for, or symbol or data type, and then once you click on run, it's also going to give you the same thing we are doing. Okay,
Got
so
it.
that's good. Now let's move on. We can see the interpretation of DRV. DRV means it's the type of drivetrain. For example, F is the front wheel drive, R is the rear wheel drive, and 4 is for 4-wheel. CTY is the city mileage per gallon. So that's the interpretation. You can go and read more about it. We're going to use it. So now let's move on. We have already seen the data set we are using. So you can also use similar thing for your data set, but we want to use a data set that everyone have. So that's why we are using this. Now let's create a variable called Jenin, or maybe we can change it to, I think we have used Lucas before, we have used Emmanuel. Now let's use, there's one guy called James. He always give me a problem. So let's use James, right? James is going to be our variable. We have already talked about variable before on the first day. So in this variable is where we're going to save everything we are doing. So you can use different name. If you don't want to use James with me, you can use another name, your own name, or whatever name you want to use. Okay? And then what do you want to save into James? I want to save this data set called miles per gallon into James. But there's another operation we can use. Is interpreted as and then. So we save this data set into James and then do what? So that and then we can get it from our keyboard. If I use the Control Shift and M, it's going to give me this symbol. So use the Control CTRL plus Shift plus M on your keyboard. It's going to give you this symbol. So if you have it, please let us know in the chat box. Just press 1, meaning you already have the symbol or you already tapped the symbol. Control Shift M is going to give you this symbol. Okay, some people already tapped 1. That means they have it. I love today. We are making progress. So it means save this data set into this variable, and then now we press enter. The next thing we want to do now is to use our ggplot, meaning we want to plot this data set. We want to plot it. Now we say ggplot. So once you type ggplot, Arrow is going to give you different options. As long as you have run the tidyverse, ggplot will come with it. Or if you also want to call the ggplot2 library, it will also come with it. But just run tidyverse. Tidyverse already have ggplot within it. So once you type ggplot, you will see it's going to give you this option. Click on enter, and then the next thing is going to give you, with a parenthesis, you can type AES. AES is aesthetics, and aesthetics basically what it does is that it's going to map our variable with some visual properties. It's almost like you have a drawing board, and then the aesthetics is just telling us probably where we want to put things on that drawing board. So when AES comes, you press enter, it's going to open another parenthesis. So if you already have what I have currently, just type 2 in the chat box. If you already have what you already have on the screen, just type 2 if you're going with me. All right. So people are going with me. That's good. Now the next thing we want to put on our aesthetics is
Please.
is our S and our Y. What we want to have on the graph that's going to be generated. You are trying to tell ggplot that on the x-axis, I want to put certain data should be represented on the x-axis, and then certain data should be represented on the y-axis. Or if you only want one axis to be used, that's also fine. So which is the case we're going to use. On our x-axis, we want to put the data called CTY. So CTY from our data set here, we can see that it's the cited mileage. So this is this one, CTY. So we want to put CTY on our x-axis. So that's what we are telling ggplot. The next thing we want to tell ggplot is that we want you to give us something like a legend.
I don't want you here. I do not want you here.
X plus
X equal CTY. For mine, the next instruction we want to do is to type fill, F-I-L-L, then you say equal DRV. We also saw DRV, what it was the drivetrain. And we have the full wheel, we have the rear wheel, and we have the front wheel like that. We already explained that one. So we want to fill. And this fill, basically what it's doing here is going to serve as a legend. It's going to serve as a legend. So after we put this fill, we come
Hello,
to end.
Olano, please.
Go ahead.
Can you hear me? Yeah, you just cited for x-axis, but there is nothing for y.
Yes. So you have the ability or the option to put X and Y. Aesthetics already have, by default, the x-axis comes first and the y-axis comes second. That's by default in the ggplot aesthetics. So you can decide to plot two different variables or columns on your X and Y, or you can just go with one. But in this case, we are just going with our x-axis. Somebody asks, what is DVR or DRV? We talk about it. So if you come here and you search the MPG, if you search the HEP, or you understand, you come here, DRV means the type of drive. F is the front wheel, R is the rear, and full is the full wheel. What's the number 1 and number 2? That person just joined in. That's why you said number 1 and number 2. Okay, so let's move on.
Boss.
So at the end of this,
Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Sorry to take you back. After the James, those symbol, I cannot be able to figure it out. I don't know how you could help me again to get it, please.
After the what?
After the James, that's less than symbol and the dash. I cannot be able to figure it out.
First day. That one you can use the alternate key on your keyboard, and then you press the minus key or the hyphen key. It's also going to.
If I can understand him, he's trying to ask for and then symbol, Control Shift plus M.
Now you talk about the less than this one, right, Lucas?
Yes,
No.
yes.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
so, this
was
one.
asking.
This one you have to use the alternate. Put one finger on the alternate key, another finger should be pressed on the key that have the minus sign or the hyphen sign, and it's going to automatically bring up this. Or you can manually tap it. You tap less than, and you also go behind it and tap a hyphen. All right, let's move on. So somebody's trying to draw. I think I disable this option for people to use the annotate, but I'll come back to that later. So at the end of this two parentheses, I want you to put plus. Just tap plus. Okay, so tap plus and then we press enter. Now let's move on. Now the next thing we want to do is our geometric. The geometric is now going to tell us which kind of plot we want to generate. Let me just mute everyone. I think Benita, she probably hasn't.
Do we enter after the plus?
Yes, we enter after the plus. After the plus, we enter.
I just need why didn't you continue the geometry?
We can also continue, but I just want to have. We can also continue, but we keep continuing. We keep going inside and then it's going to get to mess it up. So you can also continue with that.
Okay,
It's not
thank you.
a
Hold on,
problem.
please. Yeah, I just realized
Okay,
I
when
did a mistake. After James or after MPG symbol, when you clicked enter, it gives like a paragraph. So I mistakenly backspaced. So now there is no paragraph.
error.
So will that give an error?
I'm coming. Let me mute everyone, please. Some people microphone might just open and. So please, if you tap this one, if you tap James, and then you put this sound, you can still go back and if it doesn't come like this in a paragraph form, you can go back here.
Oh, okay.
And then you press enter,
Okay.
it's going to put it in the actual format.
So that's how it should be.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can also
All right.
continue in that one line. You can continue also in that one line, but it's just going to make things messy up. At least this way you can understand what is happening line by line.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, but you can also go straight. After the plus sign, you can also go with the geom, but it's just for you to understand line by line what is happening. So I want you to tap geom and then underscore, GEOM underscore. That means we want to choose the kind of plot I want to use. So you can see different kind of geom. Geom means our geometric. So we can have different kind of plot, arrow, box plot, and all kinds of plot we have here. So the one we want to go with for this data set is geom density, meaning a density plot. So geom density, choose geom density. If you have chosen that, please let us know in the chat box by sending number 3.
I can't see this. Yo.
Okay, that's good. A lot of people are following. All right, so let's move on. We have so many things to do. It's already 8 o'clock. Can you imagine? So please, guys, let me just finish. And if you still have questions, we can come back to it and talk about it, okay? So after we do this, inside this geom density, we can specify our alpha. So first, before we specify our alpha, I want us to run this. We just put the same gems here. All right. And I want us to copy everything and run it. Copy everything here and click on run. So when I come back here to my plot, I should be able to see this graph. I should be able to see this graph. So if you can see this graph, come to plot here. If you can see this graph, let us know in the chat box by pressing 4. If you can see this graph that was generated. All right, that's good. Very good. So from this graph that we generate, you can see, for example, the DRV. It comes as a legend to indicate probably what each of these colors are representing. And then from this graph also we can see that the blue and green and red and all of that, maybe for example, we don't know the red. We don't know probably the dimension of this graph that is behind the blue one. So in order for us to see the structure or the line of that graph that is behind the blue one, we can put alpha. Alpha is more of like a opacity, or people will say opacity, right? So you say alpha, go inside the geom density in a parenthesis, and you just spell ALPH. R is going to give you the option there, or you can just spell the entire thing, ALPHA, and then you press equal, and we can put alpha range is from 0 to 1. The range of alpha is from 0 to 1. So let's put 0.3. That's the level of transparency we want to have, 0.3. And then we can rerun this graph. So we rerun it. Now we can see it gives us a clear view of all of the shapes representing the foreweave, the front weave, and the rear weave. So we can now see the shape of this graph, and we can understand probably how things are going on. Now the next thing we want to add to this graph, currently our graph do not have any title. So if yours have changed, also please press 5 in the chat box. If your alpha 0.3 is also working, please press 5 in the chat box. All right, that's good. The next thing we want to do is, currently our graph do not have any title or any labels. And our X and Y axis, we can also see that it just have density and it have CTY. So we can change all of these things. And also our legend here is also outside. We can also change all of that. So we're going to see how we can do it. So the next thing we want to do here now is to introduce something called labs. L-A-B-S. So when you type L-A-B-S, it means labels. So you can modify your axis, your legend, and all other things you can do with labs. So I want you to type LABS, and then I is going to give you again suggestion. So you go with that suggestion by pressing enter. And if you press enter, inside this lab, can we use command in place of plus? No, just use the plus. Later on, you can try the command to see the result it's going to give you. So use labs, and then inside this lab, one thing we want to go with is title. So just type TIT, and then I was also going to give you a suggestion for the full spelling of title. Then you press enter, and then you open quotation mark, and you put the title of this graph, maybe miles per gallon, miles per gallon. That's the title we want. If you want to see all of the things that can go with labs, come to labs, just click on it, and then you press F1. I was also going to give you every other thing that can come with labs. You can get subtitle, title, caption, and every other thing you can have. You will see the instruction here. Similar thing for geom density. If you also want to see all of the expression, for example, we are using alpha. We can also see different things here as well, and it explains all of the, like alpha is here also. So you can see every other thing that we can use. Every other thing that we can use with each of these things. So if you want to know probably where I'm getting title from, each of these attributes have its own things that you have with it, that you can use with it. So now, after we put labs and we put our title, let's run it again by highlighting everything, and then we run it. So we can see now our graph have a title. So if your graph have a title, please let us know in the chat box by putting 6. 6, let us know, okay, your graph now have a title, that's good. So the next thing we want to do, after we put the gallon in a quotation mark, after the quotation mark, put a comma. Put a comma there, and then we press enter. We can also continue, but then I just want everything to be visible so that we can have space for our graph. So put a comma after the quotation mark, and then you press enter. The next thing we want to do is to put probably a subtitle. So we can say subtitle, or you just press sub, S-U-B, and then I is as well going to give you suggestion for your subtitle. So you press enter, and then you can put a subtitle for this graph. So maybe we can put anything, maybe for example, we can say simulated data. All right. And then we can run it again to see what the result is going to be like. So right beneath the title, you can see here our subtitle is already here as well. Okay. But then we can also add other things to this. For example, our x-axis currently have something called CTY. We can change that. So let's put another command here. After the simulated data in the quotation, we put a command and we press enter. Now we put X, and then we put equal, and then we open another parenthesis, and we put the title that we want, or the writing or the inscription that we want for our x-axis. We can say our x-axis is the city mileage. Okay. Our x-axis is the city mileage. We can run it again. And after we run it, our new graph is going to come up. And below on our x-axis, below here, we can see city mileage. Also, we can change for our y-axis. We can just put y equal and whatever name we want to put there. Okay? So if you have it, let us know by putting maybe 8 in the chat box. Put 8 in the chat box if you already have this. Okay, that's good. For some of you that don't have it, after this, we're going to come back to you.
Yeah.
So don't worry, we'll come back to you, please.
Okay.
Yeah, so let's move on. The next thing we can also add here, we can add a caption. Probably you have seen some graphs or some data. They tell you probably the source of that data. So you can also add caption. So you just press CAP, and then ours as well going to give you suggestion. So we go with it, caption, and we put the caption of our graph or our data. So we can say source, and then this column really doesn't matter. I'm just trying to make it a little bit fancy. You can put source or whatever thing you want to put there. Source TIT training. And then we run it again to see our caption. So to put a caption below our graph on the right hand side in the right corner, there where our caption is. So if your caption is there, I want you to press 9 in the chat box. If your caption is there, please let us know by pressing 9. That's good. People have the caption. Now the next thing we want to do is our theme. So I want you to put a plus sign at the end of this parenthesis, put a plus sign. Now we finish with our labels, our labs. We finish with our labs. The next thing we want to do is to put our theme. So currently, if you look at this map or this graph, we can see a kind of a grid background. So that's the theme. So we can also change that by using theme and then theme white. There are different kinds of theme. If you put theme black and white, you're going to see the effect, but the theme we're going to use is theme minimum. Okay, we're going to use theme minimum. So I want you to run that, and then you will see what happened to the theme or the background of that graph. So you can see that now it's clear. The background is clear. So if yours ran the same way, I want you now to press, let's go back to 1. I want you to press 1 on your keyboard. If yours is the same, that's good. So now we've already added a theme. So we're done with this theme. Let's move on now and add another theme. But this theme is not going to be theme or minimum. This theme is now going to give us the ability, for now we can see that our graph, the title and all these things is not in the middle. Our color for our x-axis and y-axis also, they are all just static. So we can also change these things. We can put our title in the middle, on the left side, on the right side, our source, our caption, our subtitle, and all these things, we can change them. So to do that, we have to use something called theme. So you press THEM and go with the first option, theme. Always, or after this training, if you want to understand the different attributes for each of these things, come to it and press the F1 on your keyboard. It will give you all of the options you can use for theme. One of the options we can use for theme is something called plot title. So you can see plot background, plot title, plot subtitle, plot caption. So let's go with plot title. Plot.ti is going to complete it. And now you press enter. So the title here, we want to change the position of that title and put it in the middle. So we say plot title and the element text. The element text of that title. So the text is basically the text we use for the title, that is miles per gallon. So we say element text. We press enter. Now in this element text, we now want to put different things. For example, we can increase the size of the title. We can also make the title to be bold. We can change the color of it. We can put it in the middle and all kinds of things we can do. So let's first do it one at a time. Let's put the size. So you spell size, S-I-Z-E, and then arrow is going to give you option. You go with that option. Maybe you want to make the size to be 18. So after this, I want you to copy everything and run it. So now when you run it, you will see that the size of the title has increased. If you want to compare the previous graph that you did to know if actually it increased, you can use the back arrow here. Use the back arrow to go back to the previous graph. Use the forward arrow to go to the latest graph. So when you go back, you can see it was a little bit smaller. Now we can see it's bigger. So if you have done it, let us know in the chat box by pressing 2. If your title have increased to 18, you press 2. All right, that's good. Now the next thing we want to do, we have already put our size. Now let's put another thing here for how to make it bold. So we use something called face. We use something called face. No, let me just go back here. Sorry. I should put it right after the 18. Command right after the 18. And then we spell face. But let me just enter because we're going to go inside. So after 18, I want you to put command and then you spell face. So face, you press enter. And now in a quotation, you can spell bold. You can spell bold. And now you copy everything and then you run it. Now you can see our title is now bold. So if yours is bold like mine, I want you to press 3 in the chat box. 3 in the chat box is yours is bold. All right, that's good. Now let's move on. We can also change the color. We can change the color of our title. So let's press enter so that the line they don't keep going inside. So you spell C-O-L. You can also use C-O-L-O-R just for British and American kind of spelling of color. So anyone will work for you. But let's go with the first option here. You press enter, and now you can put the color you want for your title. In the parentheses, for the color you want, I'm going to go with steel blue. So once you put the color correctly, I was going to show you that color. So when you put steel blue, I want you to now highlight everything and run it and see what happened to your title. So now our title has been changed. The color of it has been changed to blue. So if yours also did the same, please press 4 in the chat box. All right, that's good. Now we can also do another thing. Lastly, to that title, we can put the title in the middle. So come to the end of that steel blue, the quotation mark, press command and press enter. And then we can say ish just. Ish just means the horizontal adjustment of your title. So you press enter, and then the horizontal adjustment, we have 0, meaning it's on the left side, 0.5 meaning it's in the middle, 1 means you want to put your title to the right hand side. So since we want to put it in the middle, we put 0.5. And then we run it again. Now our title should be in the middle. Our title is now in the middle. So if yours is in the middle, please press, okay, people have already started pressing 5. Just press 5. Okay, that's good. All right, so the next thing we want to do, for our axis, you can see what we have on the y-axis. We have 0.15, 0.10, 0.5, and then on the x-axis, we have different values. Those values as well, we can also change how they look. So what we want to do now is to put a command after the first parenthesis. We put a command there and we press enter. All right. You put a command after the first parenthesis. You got 0.5 command. You are in a poor connection, teacher. Can you guys hear me?
We can hear you.
Yeah, I'm hearing you.
All right, that's good.
We are here. We are hearing you, but the typing from your screen is coming in.
Yeah, that's why I'm also trying to take my time and then pause a little bit.
All right.
All right.
You can hear me clear?
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. We are good now.
So
all right.
I get all of my codes. I'm typing in line with you, but I'm not plotting.
Yeah, so just wait. We'll get back to you because we have
all my codes are correct.
Yeah, just wait. We'll get back to you shortly. Okay. Okay, let's go on. So we can also change our axis text. So we press axis or AXR. So we want to look for text. So the text that we have around our axis, our X and Y axis, we also want to change that. So you choose axis text and then you press enter. Similar thing we did for the one we did above. We can also change the element text. So you also choose element text. Press ELE and then you choose element text. So I'm going to mute everyone. I think some people's microphone is still open. So please tap that one. Okay. So after you put your element text, now the next thing you want to put is the size. Maybe you want to change the size of those values. Let's say we want to make that size to be 10. I'm just going to put everything and just run it at once because of time. We also want to change the color of that. Let's say we want to change the color probably to the same steel blue, or we can choose any color in a parenthesis. Okay, let me just open this thing a little bit. That's the reason why I was trying to go on separate lines, so now you can understand. Because as we close this one, our graph will also be kind of a close up a little bit. So yeah, you can choose different color, any color you want. Just put it a red, whatever color you want. You can go with it. And then you highlight everything and run it. So now you can see those 0.15, 0.10, and even the x-axis. Our color have also changed and our size have also been increased. You can also make it bold by using the same face equal bold. That will also work. So if yours have worked, please send, what was the last number we used? That was 7. Please send 8. Please send 8 in the chat box if you have changed yours. All right, that's good. So now let's move on. For those that are step back, we'll get back to you. Please don't worry. We can do the same thing for our title. So ASICS title. Now you already understand the command or the instruction. We can as well do the same thing, ASICS title, and then we can say the element text, and then we can also change the size and all of that for our ASICS. We change the size to maybe we want it to be 13, and then we also want the color. We want the color to be. We want the color probably let's use orange. I think we have been using a lot of steel blue. Let's use orange. ORANGE. So we use orange. Okay, and then let's try to now run it and see what happened to our title axis. So you can see the density and the city mileage. Now they are changed to orange. So if yours have changed to orange, please let us know in the chat box by pressing 1. Oh, you have already gone to 9. We'll send the comment and everything later, so don't worry. And also, if you still have questions, at the end of the official time, we will stay here to solve these things again. We can still go back and start from all over from scratch just for you. But if you are in rush, you can leave and watch the video. If you're not in rush, I will stay here after the official time and still do these things with you again. So don't worry. That's why I say don't worry. But if you're in rush, the video will also be there on YouTube. You can go and watch it. So you still have option. All right, now let's move on to the last one. our legend. We can see that our legend is currently outside. We also have the ability to bring it in. So since we have already closed up with this team, now I want us to put a plus sign again. Put a plus sign, and then you press enter. Now we're going to create another team. The same way we started that team, we're going to open another team. So after the orange, you have a quotation mark, and then you have two parentheses. At the end of that, those two parentheses, I want you to put a plus sign. So when you put a plus sign, and then you press enter, and then you tap team, T-H-E-M-E, or once you press T-H-E-M, I was going to give you the suggestion. Now inside this team, we want to work with our legend. So your graph will always have legend and all of that. So how to work with legend? One thing we want to work with is our legend position. So we say legend dot position, or once you say P, it's going to bring you that suggestion. Legend dot position. We'll press enter. Now this position, we can do so many things with it. One thing we can do is to say put our legend on the top. Currently it's on the left, the right hand side, but we can change it from here and send it to the top. So when we highlight and enter, now our legend is moved to the top. So if yours has been moved to the top, you can put bottom, you can put left, you can put right. It's up to you. So if yours has been moved to the top, please let us know in the chat box by sending 2. All right. So you send 2, that's great. Another thing we can do, we can put our legend inside of our graph. We can bring our legend inside. So to bring it inside, we can use the concatenation C, and then we open a parenthesis. This one means the one we're about to do, you want to, when we 90% top left and 80% top and bottom. That's the position we want to set our legend. So to put that command, we put C and open a parenthesis, and 0.9 means 90% top left, and also 0.8, 80% top and bottom. That's where we want to put our legend. So when we run it, now we can see our legend is inside of our graph. Our legend is inside of our graph. So you can play with 0.9, 0.8. You can play with it and just change the numbers, and then you will see the effect. But the first one is just the left to right, and then the 0.8 is the top and bottom. So 80% like that, and 90%. So I think we already pressed 3. That means they are on course. So after doing all of these things, you have option to save your graph. One option you have, you can see here, you can see export. You can export this as a PDF, or you can save it as an image. You can also copy it to your clipboard and paste it anywhere. Once you click on clipboard, you can even go to WeChat to your friend message and just click on Ctrl V. That graph will be sent to your friend. Or you can even copy it here and paste it into Microsoft Word. It will also go. Another thing you can do, I'll also give you, or ggplot give you the option to save. But then it's going to save your plot to your current working directory. So let me clear my console here, Control L, or I use my brush. I clear my console and I try to get my working directory. So get WD is to get the working directory. Working directory means the folder that I'm currently working in or working with. So when I put get WD in my console and I press enter, I can now see the path or the folder that I'm working with. I'm working in C, user, Veronica, and then document. So if I try to save this graph, it's going to be saved in document folder. But if you want to save it somewhere else, then you can use the export option and you click on save as image or save as PDF. What number do we use for legend position? Right bottom inside the plot area. The number is already here, 0.9, 0.8. That's what we use. But you can also change it and experiment. That's why you have the option now. We'll send you the code. So change these values and see the effect of them. Play with it. Okay, so now let's try to save it using the ggplot option. So when I come here, after the James, I can press the tab key 2 times. I press the tab key 2 times and then I press GG save. So once I press GGSA, it's going to give me the option of GG save. And then I want to press enter. I want to press enter. So now the next thing we want to do is to put, that's a unique thing about our studio. It gives us the ability to customize. Somebody was asking me between R and SPSS, which is best. R is better than SPSS, is better than SATA, is better than SAS as well. So just in case you are wondering, and R is also free, but SPSS is not free. You have to pay for it, or your organization have to pay for it. So if you are a struggling student, then you can imagine what will happen. So our studio, all this training is a giveaway to you for your research life. Now it gives us the ability to choose the name, which name we want to save this plot with. For example, we can say maybe, let's save it as test me, or whatever name you want to put. And then another beautiful thing is it gives you the ability to choose the kind of image extension. If you want to save it as JPEG, if you want to save it as GIF, or you want to save it as PNG. So I'm going to save it as PNG because PNG, it does not take away the quality of an image. So image processing is one of my research area. So I can tell you better about images. So it's not going to take away the quality, but JPEGs have something called compression. So it's going to also take away some of the quality. The pictures that you take from your phone to post on Facebook or Instagram, you don't observe it, but the quality is not the same when it was in your phone than the quality that it is when you post on Instagram or Facebook. I did an experiment and it also proven right. So it's another thing you have to try. Download the picture you have on your Facebook and compare the quality to what you have in your phone. You will see what I'm talking about. So now we have put the name of the file. The next thing we can do is to specify the width. How wide we want this thing to be. We want it to be 10. And then also we can put the height. The height probably wanted to be 7. And then we can put the units. If we want it to be in centimeter or meter or whatever unit we want, we can specify the unit. I want it to be in centimeter. And then also the resolution, which is represented by something called DPI. So this resolution, I want it to be 300. I want it to be 300. So when I come here to let me try to open this File Explorer. I currently don't have it, so let me open my File Explorer here. When I come to document, I currently don't have, above this file, I currently don't have anything here. So when I come back here to the code, and then I highlight everything and run it, this has been saved to my computer. So when I come back here to my document, I can now see, let's refresh this guy. Let me just refresh this guy. Now I can see test means the PNG. You can also see the time. Before you say it's agenda board, you can also see the time it was saved. So if you open this, you also see the same image that you saw before. But now with the width, the height, and everything has been changed. So let me know if yours was able to run. So you can see it here also. It's PNG and all of that.
DPI was what? The DPI value was what?
300. DPI 300. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, hello.
Please, Can you come back how to be able to tap GG save?
GG save after James or whatever name you put. If yours is correct first, let me get my people in the chat box. Please send me which number are you gonna send me? Lucky number is send me 9.
Yeah.
There's a reason why I
Follow
said
my
send me 9.
questions.
Please send 9 if yours have already been done. Please send 9 before we
Follow my
start to take.
questions.
Yeah, I'm coming, please. Before we start to take questions and concern, please send 9. Okay, that's good. So this code will also be sent. Let me save this code as day 3. It will also be sent in the group. So you can go there and make use of it, change the values, come to each of these expressions we use and use the F1 or control F1 or function F1, or you can just come here and put question mark and the name of that. If it's ggplot, you spell ggplot and then you run it. Or you can come here to help, and then inside here, help give you an option to search. You can also put ggplot, and then you try to ask for explanation, or you press enter. It's going to give you all of the things you need to know about that particular package or instruction. So that's all.
You
I'm
didn't
coming.
you
Yeah, go
didn't
ahead.
explain to me how to be able to tap GG save.
All right. So after James, you press enter, and then you can press the tab key twice, or you can just go ahead and just tap. Just go ahead. You don't have to press tab key. Okay. So after James, just press enter and tap GG save. I was going to pop up that option. So one thing I have to tell you about GG save is that GG save is going to work with the current graph you are working with. So probably if you have something else above this, it's not going to save all of those things, but the current thing you are working with. So what we have been working with is this one. So GG save is going to use the current graphs that you're working with. That's the important part. So I'm going to just stop here and firstly do the attendance. And after that, then I'm going to bring my screen up so that I can take your question and answer. Please turn on your camera. Let's do the attendance first. And I hope you use your real name. There was somebody who kept using iPhone throughout. The name that you're using here is the name that will be put on your certificate. So we talk about the certificate. You can visit the website hopefully by this weekend or next week to start downloading your certificate. Go to the website and just put your last name, and then you will get a certificate. Or if you want a certificate beginning tonight, moving forward, we can send it to your email. We can also send it to your WeChat, your WhatsApp, your Facebook. I'm not on Snapchat. I'm not on Twitter. I'm not on Instagram, so I can send it there. I'm also not on what's the name of this other TikTok. I'm not there, so I can send it there. But we can send it through email. We can send it through WhatsApp. We can send it through Instagram. No, not Instagram. Through Facebook Messenger, through WeChat. We can send it.
I celebrated website and enough for you, CEO. Snapchat.
All right, so I'm doing the passing through of the attendance. So just stick with me.
It can't show. That means that I cannot access the video. I don't know how to.
So please don't send any message now because we're going to cover somebody else's name. Please don't send any message now. It's going to cover the name of somebody. Please don't send any message now. I'll let you know once the attendance is complete. And if
Louis,
you think,
are you here?
if you think you are in attendance, if you think you are in attendance but you didn't see yourself
Superman,
in there,
speak. You always say did you not see your name, Superman?
So if you think you are not seeing your name in the attendance,
be here at this time.
if you think you don't see your name in attendance, just go back to the YouTube video and then go to the very end. You will see the same place we started to talk about this attendance and what we did. you will also see it there. So it's another way to verify the attendance thing. So please stay, please. I beg you, just give me 2 minutes of your time. You can be looking at your phone or be looking at your computer, but please do not turn off your video or turn off anything. I will let you know once I'm done, please.
Patrick Omoya, my boy Patrick Omoya, my community member.
Man, y'all do any update?
Yeah, you can be talking. Don't send any message.
Patrick Omoya, I told you about my man from Avon, Liberia. I see somebody there.
My man, tell your people there to leave CDC part the headquarters. Tell your people to leave the headquarters. What doing there?
Just tell me where you are. I beg you, please. Tomorrow you'll not see me. I will not disturb you tomorrow to join meeting. So please, today's the last day. Stay here. I'm coming.
Yeah, people get problem. Where the people go to the CDC part the headquarters?
My man, I'm not a politician. I'm a state auditor.
Okay.
I never
All right.
So
just wait.
just 1
minute left.
You're looking for problem for
according to them, down that drugs will go look for like DA search.
If you have any question, please stay. I'll be here to solve all of the problems.
We beg you. They play an international forum. Let's play LRB politics.
I see la Magnus. Yeah, but it's fair about la brand. International.
Yeah, but those are not la brand. Who are we struggling for here? I don't
la politique pour y aller. Quand tout le monde était la politique pour y aller.
Let's discuss the people who go here.
Let us discuss it differently.
Okay, guys. No, I'm not done yet, please. I'm not done. I was doing it 2 ways in a backup, so because I don't want people to be sending me message certificate. I was there, so please, I'm doing it.
One corner say for you do.
Yeah, do clear.
I'm not.
Okay.
Where data go?
I think those in Liberia, they had some issue with their long-time people had issue with their.
You go Mr. Fode on the certificate.
I don't understand. So those of you that have only one name, or you just put one name here, I don't know how you want us to do your certificate, but then
the program is a name. Something. Are you looking at Mama Labroso?
All right, so that's it. The attendance has been done. Thank you so much. I'm gonna start recording.